All right, thanks, guys. The Rams take on the Broncos, 4:05 Denver. The Rams are the 6.5-point favorites. Total was 52.5, down to an even 52. LA's 310 on the money line. The Rams are 5-0 on the season, 4-1 against the spread, depending on where you're shopping at. They've won and covered over the Raiders, Cards, Chargers, and Vikings. The Rams are 6-3 ATS in their last 9 on the road, dating back to last season. They're also a perfect 5-0 straight up in their last 5 away from home as well. The Rams are amassing 35 points a game, 337 through the air, and 131 on the ground. The Broncos defense on the other side will definitely have their hands full. They're already giving up 26 points a game and 140 on the ground on average per contest. The Broncos have also lost their last 3 straight and find themselves at a winless 0-5 against the spread for the year. Denver's also gone just 1-7 ATS in their last 8 at home, along with dropping 4 out of their last 5 straight up with Los Angeles. Now, total-wise, once again, this Rams offense is scoring a ton of points, and this Broncos D has been giving up their fair share as well. The Rams are also 3-0 to the over in their last 3, 8-3 to the over in their last 11, and 4-1 to the over in their last 5 road games. So with all that said and done, I really have no reason to fade the red-hot Rams in this spot here. I'm going to buy it down to avoid a potential push. So with all that said and done, give me the LA Rams -6 after buying the half a point and the over. 52 points in this one. And with that said, I just want to welcome you to the show. I got some lines and personal leans out for our NFL Week 6 slate of later games. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly remind you to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 75% from my last 12 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser and just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You make it all worth it. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back into it. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Jags Cowboys, 425 Dallas. The Jags open 1.5, now -2.5 against the spread. Total open 41 and a hook, down to 40 even. Currently, Jacksonville's the $1.50 favorites on the money line. That was a nickel move toward Jacksonville. And at the moment, the Cowboys come into Sunday's matchup just 2-3 on the season, just 2-3 against the spread. Now, the Cowboys have really struggled against the number as of late, dropping 2 out of their last 3 against the spread, while also going 2-4 ATS in their last 6 at Jerry World. They're averaging just 16 points of scoring per game and just 172 yards passing through the air. They are taking on a very stingy Jacksonville defense, who gives up just 17 points a game and 191 yards through the air. The Jags have garnered themselves some marquee covers over the likes of the Giants, Pats, and Jets. They're also 5-2 ATS in their last 7, dating back to last season. 10-5 ATS in their last 15 away from home, and 3-2 ATS thus far on the 2018 season. But if you think this Sunday's matchup between these teams is going to be a defensive snooze fest, just keep in mind that we are looking at a Jacksonville defense who is giving up 101 yards of rushing on the ground per game. They're also giving up 23 points a game on the road, 254 through the air, and $120 on the ground. All those stats while they're away from home. Meanwhile, on the Dallas side, they're rushing for 136 yards per game on average, along with averaging 23 points of scoring per game at home and rushing for 161 on average in Jerry World. And if you take a look at these betting trends, these teams historically go over. 5-1 to the over in their last 6 meetings. So with all that said and done, I do think the Jags will get the job done, but just not in the fashion most of the public bettors are expecting. So with all that said and done, give me the Jacksonville Jags -2 after buying the hook and the over. 40 total points in this one. Next game, Ravens-Titans, 425 Tennessee. The Ravens were -2, now -3. Total was 42, down to 41 even. The Ravens are the $1.50 favorites on the money line, 25-cent move toward the Ravens. And at the moment, the spread consensus is now 52% shaded toward the Titans. And if you really like the Titans in this matchup here, they are 3-2 against the spread and 7-3 ATS in their last 10, dating back to last season. They're running for 107 yards per game while giving up just 17 points on the defensive side of the ball. This Titan squad has also been covering machines in the Music City, going 5-0 ATS in their last 5 at home. In addition to that, the Titans have won 8 out of their last 9 home games dating back to last season. Tennessee's garnered themselves marquee covers over the likes of Houston, Jacksonville, and Philadelphia thus far. They are taking on a Ravens team who suffered a humiliating overtime loss, 12-9, at the hands of the Browns last weekend. The Ravens have also dropped 2 out of their last 3 away from home, failing to cover in 2 of those 3 games as well. Baltimore's just 5-12 straight up in their last 17 on the road, dating back to last season. They're also just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games, taking on Tennessee. Now, total-wise, lots of unders between these two squads. 3-0 to the under in Baltimore's last 3 games, 3-1 to the under in Tennessee's last 4. Baltimore's also scoring just 19 points a game on average away from home, and has also gone 8-2 to the under in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Tennessee. So with all that said and done, should have ourselves a defensive battle in Nashville. Give me the Tennessee Titans +3 at home and the under 41 total points in this one. Next game, Chiefs, Patriots, 8:20 New England. The Pats were 3.5 down to the 3-point favorite. Total was 57.5 up to 60 even. New England's 190 on the money line, 20-cent move toward New England. And at the moment, 56% of the spread consensus is shaded back toward Kansas City. The Chiefs are a perfect 5-0 on the season, 5-0 against the spread in those games as well. They have marquee covers over the Chargers, Steelers, Niners, Broncos, and Jags, really hammering some good teams. All that said, though, they've really struggled to get the job done against New England. They're just 3-6 straight up in their last 9 against the Pats. Even worse, they dropped 6 out of their last 7 games playing in Gillette Stadium. The Pats on the other side, 3-2 ATS thus far in the season. Marquee covers over the Jags and the Lions. New England's 9-2. They did not cover the Jags and the Lions. But anyway, they're 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games away from home. And once again, the Pats are 6-1 straight up in their last 7, taking on the Chiefs in Foxborough. Now, total-wise, you'd think this is an easy lock for it to go over, especially considering the potency of these two offenses. That said, though, the New England defense is giving up just 17 points a game at home. The total's also gone under in 2 out of New England's last 3 contests. Meanwhile, on the Kansas City side, as many points as they've been scoring and giving up, they went 2-0 to the under in their last couple of games. And if you're a contrarian player, just keep in mind that the over-under consensus is shaded 61% toward the over, even after that 2.5-point move upward. So with all that said and done, this Pats organization have been absolute covering machines at home. I think they'll be able to do it again and keep the ball out of the hands of Mahomes. Give me the New England Patriots -3 and the under 60 total points in this one. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Niners-Packers, 8:15 Green Bay. The Packers are the 9.5-point favorites, totals at 46.5. Green Bay's the $4 favorites on the money line, and at the moment, 63% of the consensus is shaded toward Green Bay. And as lackluster as they've been, this Packer offense is still putting up 300 yards a game through the air and 101 yards a game on the ground. The Pack is also scoring 25 points a game at home, 279 through the air, and 103 yards on the ground in Lambeau. Now, trend-wise, Green Bay's still pretty good in their games at Lambeau, 11-4 straight up in their last 15 at home. That's even through the Hundley era. They've also gone 8-2 in their last 10 home games against San Francisco. And speaking of San Fran, they're really banged up in addition to riding with their backup QB. The Niners also find themselves at 1-4 on the season, failing to cover in 4 out of those 5 ball games. The Niners have also historically struggled to cover in Green Bay, just 1-5 ATS in their last 6 at Lambeau. Now, total-wise, the Niners are giving up a ton of points away from home. 30 points a game they're giving up on average on the road. They're also 4-0 to the over in their last 4, while also going 6-2 to the over in their last 8 against Green Bay. The Packers are also 4-1 to the over in their last 5 games themselves. So with all that said and done, I gotta imagine Rodgers can get these guys back on track and really expose a suffering Niners organization. So with all that said and done, give me the Green Bay Packers -9 after buying the hook, and the over 46.5 points in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just have to remind you to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 75% for my last 12 underdog plays, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Memberships begin at just $1.99 a month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser and just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You certainly make it all worth it. And as always, thank you for watching today's program. I hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And please don't forget to check out my daily best play at patreon.com/BrockPage.